The other man, married for 13 years, together for 15. 2 kids ages 7 and 12. Nothing extravagant in our lives, but there are no hardships either. We are financially secure, both equally paying jobs. There has never been any abuse, no infidelity. We have had our moments, but it has always been forgive and forget. No threats of divorce or leaving. I would like to say we both were pretty happy, until about 3.5 months ago. It was around my birthday. The wife had been involved with the YMCA, gym and working out, since last summer. She isn't a big girl or anything, and I have never even once spoken to her about her physique, other than how hot I think she is. Yet she was at the gym 4 to 5 nights a week for months straight. Then all of a sudden, I began to notice a change in the way she was towards me. For my birthday she got a cake with no presents and no candles. Not that I ever wanted anything, but she always did do nice things for birthdays. So, we get to talking about the situation, and she told me that she felt numb towards me, and that's why she was treating me the way she was. That she wanted to feel loved, wanted to feel wanted, wanted to feel appreciated. What the hell? Said she wasn't sure she was in love with me anymore and that it would be best to separate. After listening to her say that to me, I was devastated. The worst pain I ever felt in my life. I have loved her and have been in love with her since day one. I may not be Mr. Romance, but I feel that I show it in other actions. Loyalty, respect, just being her friend, always doing the right thing. I served 9 years in the U.S. Army and never once did I do anything wrong. Everything I did is for her and my kids. In no way, shape, or form would I put that into jeopardy. I always thought things were going well in our life, and never once did I think I would be without her for one day in this life. And then all of a sudden, boom, I don't love you anymore. So, for the next 3.5 months I tried to make the changes that she was wanting. I even did more of the cooking, more of the laundry, more of the dishes, more of the cleaning. I coached both of my girls' softball teams, take them to practice, just so she wouldn't have to worry. I tried making things a bit easier on her for a while. Whatever it took to keep the love of my life happy and want to be with me. Then last week I asked her, are you doing this for your heart, or are you doing it for our children? Her answer was, I don't know. I said, how can you not know? She said she just didn't love me anymore and she wants to be separated. I don't want any of the above. I want to go back to being happy again. What I truly believe in my heart and in my gut is that she has found someone else and is feeling some kind of lust for some new man. When she began doing the YMCA, she also began hanging out with new friends, which I did not mind. I have never been the jealous type and have always trusted her. I am sure some may say, why didn't you join the Y with her? My answer to that is that I don't feel I am overweight and am perfectly satisfied with my current physique. I am not overweight. On top of that, I was made to work out for 9 years of my life. Army, and I just am not ready to start doing that again. She used to keep her cell phone on the kitchen counter, and her Facebook used to stay logged in on the laptop. Now she signs out of Facebook after each session and takes her phone to the bedroom at night and even into the bathroom. She went to a concert this weekend and did not wear her ring. I am so devastated right now. I asked her last night if there was someone else. Of course, she says no. But I told her it was so obvious that there was. That there was no way anyone could throw out the last 15 years of their life and be ready to move on in such short time without a reasonable, legitimate excuse. She told me I was just looking for an excuse so that I didn't have to take the blame. I asked her about her ring, and she said that I should take mine off and that if I wanted to go on a date that was fine. Then this morning I asked her what she was going to do if things didn't work out. She says, with us. I say, no, with your new man. I began to tell her that whatever this guy was saying is that it is all smoke and mirrors, and that after he got what he wanted he would be out, and then what? It was silence. I then asked her to please tell me when they have or if they had slept together. To let me know so that I can deal with this pain better. Silence. I then asked if I knew who he was. It took her about 5 seconds to say, there is no one else. I feel so deceived and cheated. And she wants me to move out. On one hand, I don't think I should do that. As soon as I do, she is going to go after whoever it is that she wants. On the other hand, I feel so betrayed that I want to leave. I just want everything to be normal again. But I don't think that is an option anymore. She is hell-bent on me moving out. I just wanted to rave and get this out and get an outsider's view. So, hurt right now. All I get from her is I don't know what I want. I can't tell you what I want with you here all the time. I want to be separated. That's all I keep hearing over and over in my head, along with visions of her with another man. It feels like someone has a screwdriver in my chest. I installed the software on the laptop this morning. It may take a few days to a week for her to log on to Facebook there, as she mostly uses her phone. I also feel that I need some proof before pushing the issue anymore, hoping this will get it for me. She is very guarded right now. I almost think I made it worse when I confronted her about cheating. The more I think of moving out, the angrier I get. I ask myself, why should I? I have done nothing wrong. I think I may go stay with a family member for a few days. God, this sucks. Why do people do things like this? Well, in hopes of stopping the affair, it may have just picked up steam. When I got home, I confronted her about the phone records. She said she didn't know who that number was. I showed her the records with the number highlighted. Almost the entire page was highlighted, there were so many. and there were multiple pages showing just a few days. But the number went back to January. She told me a guy from kickboxing. I grabbed her phone and looked up the guy, because I knew who it was. And he wasn't listed. So, I looked for this guy from kickboxing and sure enough it was listed, with his number. I called the number and put it on speaker. He answered and I said hello, I am his husband, and he hung up. I called it back, got the answering machine and said hello, this is cheating wife's husband. Have a nice day. So, after that she says, we're just friends. I said no one communicated that many times daily for months on end. How long have you been sleeping with him? She came clean. Sort of. She says only since April, but I know that's a lie. It all started back in January when I noticed that she wasn't the same person anymore. I called her mom, dad, aunts, neighbors, anyone who we have a social interaction with. She kept telling me why I was doing that it's embarrassing to her. I said yeah, no crap and throw in humiliating while you're at it. I also made her call OM and tell him it was over. She did. So, we talk and she seems kind of remorseful, but I can tell it's just a show. I told her that I can forgive, she's the love of my life. What can I say? But we needed to go to counseling and she agreed. At least we were on talking grounds. Later that night I get ready for bed. I get up pretty early. She stayed up to watch a bit of TV. About an hour later I get up and go out to the living room. She isn't there. I go downstairs and I hear I got to go. I grab the phone from her and check recent calls. Sure enough it was him. She'd been talking to him 56 minutes. I told her that was it and I grabbed a suitcase and packed a bag and went to my aunt's. Not one time did she try and stop, say I'm sorry, nothing. She seemed like she was duck off that I caught her again. So not even one time does she check on me that night. I called into work and told them I wouldn't be there. All through the night into the morning I was checking phone records and she was still talking to this guy. I wake up the next morning and decided that I didn't feel like I needed to be away from my kids, so I went back home. They were off for voting day. I walk into the house and she already has changed locks and told me I was no longer allowed in that house. Well, I got a reference for a lawyer from a friend and called him up. He laughed and said there was no way she could have me leave unless I caused it. Of course, I kept my cool and will continue. I will lose my job if I go to jail. See, it seemed as if she has had this whole thing planned for several months. In fact, I know she did because she started dropping legal terms all over the place. This guy was just recently divorced last summer over. His wife divorced him for cheating on her. I asked her if she knew why his wife left him and she didn't answer. I told her and then she lashed out that we weren't going to be talking about that and that we needed to focus on separating. She keeps blaming this whole thing on me. It's my fault. I asked her this morning how she could do this to the kids, and she told me that she didn't do it, that I did it. She is in total denial even after being caught red-handed and putting all the blame on me. She is a totally different person, just full of poison and all directed at me. She wouldn't on me if I was on fire right now, and this is the mother of my kids. I haven't eaten anything since Sunday evening and it isn't looking good for today either. There is just no way for me to get this stuff out of my head right now. I am operating on about 40 minutes sleep and don't even feel tired. Don't feel hungry either. Just feel butterflies in my stomach 24/7. All accounts are fixed. Finances are squared away. Yes, I am back in the house. I needed to get out to try and clear my head. Was gone about 10 hours total. She says that she won't leave and we will just continue to just live as we have. She will go see him whenever and also stay in the house. What the duck? She has no remorse or guilt for any of this. She blatantly says it is my fault. Her answer to anything in regard to the kids are that it's my fault. I pushed her into this. I still have hope since the affair is blown wide open and almost everyone knows that this thing will stop being fun and she'll tire. But by then I am not sure that I will be as forgiving. As this pain and sorrow goes away, other feelings will take over and I am afraid the longer she waits, the worse I will feel towards her. Maybe she doesn't deserve a second chance. I have lost 10 pounds in 3 days. Honestly, I took a look at the link but not with a clear mind. Just scammed. I will try and go back to relook. I called her father. He has sent her money to help her situation, which there is none because she makes as much as I do and can live on her own salary. He has assumed that the relationship is over and that there can be no reconciliation and was worried for the kids. Cop out. I told him that was not his place to decide, and if there was ever a chance to make this thing, it would rely on people like him to not support her right away and to make her do things on her own. I feel that this may well be one of the driving nails in the coffin. I really could have used his help in not supporting his daughter's decision in any way, for a while at least. But it didn't go like that at all. This thing just feels like it is all crashing down on me so fast. I am trying to be strong. This is stuff I have never felt before. I am not going to just lie down. I already have a lawyer and will be ready for this fight. What she is wanting is ludicrous. All I want is joint. She wants joint with me paying a ridiculous amount of child support. My lawyer told me that all she was going to get was about 12% of what she is asking for. She is still non-stop texting, phoning. I can't take the phone away because it is in her name and she uses it for work. She does home health, so it is essential. Now, I am thinking that it is just too early and maybe there is still some shock value for them. and me. Hopefully with time the thrill will wear off. She says she definitely wants a divorce. She brought it up. I said then that is on you. Do what you have to do, but I am staying in my house, in my own bed, and with my children, and I will fight this until the courts tell me I have to do something, that I am not going to just lie down. She agreed to not communicate with her boyfriend around the kids, but she'll just go downstairs or what have you. I have told everyone I know and who I think she knows. On his side, I know one guy and he already know. He was the one that told me what a scumbag he is and that he would spread the word. I already have had enough, but I refuse to lie down. I foresee only giving it a few weeks. I am set financially and with the bills. We have split everything up and have new bank accounts. We don't own a house, long story, but thank goodness. She wants me to leave and has wanted me to leave for a while now. I refuse. She wants me to sleep in my daughter's bed. I refuse. She wants me to pay her child support in an uncontested divorce. I refuse. She really is getting nothing that she wants out of me. This isn't going her way at all. She had this all planned out to a T and now it's kind of not working out, including the being busted for the PA. She doesn't recognize anything sensible right now. It is not really my wife, it is someone else. She has put on this shell to help her, in her own mind, feel that what she is doing is not wrong. We talked last night about an hour. It was very emotional. She hasn't cried at all but did hear. We talked about the good times, the kids growing up. We were both bawling, I on the couch, her in the recliner. I so wanted it to end right there with us in each other's arms again. It didn't happen. She says she still loves me but not in love with me. I tell her she is still the love of my life even after all this. But it doesn't matter how many times I tell her that she is unfazed. She talks about how I could never get over what she has done. I told her she was right, but I can forgive and still love and honor her. It most definitely would not be the same, but like Jitter said, it could only make us stronger. That we would have to counseling, no if and or buts. I told her though that the first step was truly ending with the other party. Not much of a reply on that, of course. She is going to see a lawyer tomorrow and see what her options are. She said she didn't want to file right away, so somewhere she is second guessing all of this. I just hope I can tolerate this long enough to break her from this trance she is in. As long as I see the progress, I think I can weather. I am afraid though that I cannot take many sets back or blindsides. I did sleep in my own bed last night. She did also. We have a king, so it's her side and my side. I actually may have gotten 4 to 5 hours sleep. I coach my daughter's softball team and I really needed that. It finally gave my mind a rest for a few hours. I felt like a zombie and completely exhausted afterwards and was able to go home and sleep for a bit. Maybe I will eat today. Too early to tell. The kids know, and they know the truth. Both of us have told them. My wife is hell-bent on getting the divorce. She just told me that there was no way she could ever love me again like she did. I called the Y and spoke to the director. He was very appreciative about receiving the information of the affair. They both teach classes there, so something should come about on that. I spoke of them being around children and women of all sorts and said that this information was important, if not just for that. He said absolutely and thanked me, a non-tipper. I cannot imagine, as strong as she is on being done with the marriage, that she could come around. She will see her lawyer tomorrow and find out what choices she has. She is telling everyone that she is done and can't understand why I won't leave the house, but since I am being non-confrontational, she can deal with me being there. She says there is only one option: divorce. How can I deal with someone like that? Her days of listening to sound advice from me have been over for 7 months. This thing is going to be done long before she realizes what she has done. The only thing I have to keep my head up about is that this burden is on her for the rest of her, mine and the kids' lives. So sad. I need to let her go so I can heal my pain, but not sure how I can do that. All I can think of is how am I going to fix this? I have done quite a bit already and it hasn't fazed her. She doesn't care what people think her. All the embarrassment and humility, and it doesn't matter. My wife went to see a lawyer this morning. I know one thing. None of this is going as planned for her and her people that have had months to plan this thing. She had hoped that after our thing in January, although she'd been with the guy since November last year, when she said she hadn't been happy for years and that she no longer loved me, that I would just throw up my arms and walk out. It didn't happen. I have been fighting for 3.5 months. Now she expects me to work a compromise with her regarding the divorce. She wants custodial guardian and for me to pay child support. I keep telling her that I want joint custody and she won't have anything to do with that. She then tells me that if I contest this, you are going to hurt our kids by putting them through a long divorce. With the duck, I get the blame no matter what. She is wanting this to be quick so she can be done. She thinks I am going to sign just any old thing she brings out. She cannot stand that I am fighting and refuse to accept anything less than 50%. I am wrecking her plan daily. She has had months to plan this, and I have had 4 days. The indicators were all around me. I knew, but I chose to ignore because I thought that there was no way she would do that to me. I learned a valuable lesson. Just because nothing is said does not mean there is nothing wrong. I will definitely sleep with one eye open from now on. We got married when we were young, 19 to 20. Our communication skills with each other have been horrid, until now. We have talked to each other about everything for 2 days straight. We both have agreed that the divorce is something that needs to happen. I am ready for this and I need it. There is just too much damage to overcome to work on this right now. One thing is for certain that we both can agree on. We still love each other very much. We both need some time on our own. If things work out down the road with us, then fine. If not, I am ready to move on and have accepted that she is not good for me right now. Yesterday morning was the first time I woke up and the first thought of the affair and my wife with that guy did not bring a wave of anger and feelings over me. There was nothing, just a thought, oh well, it is time for me to move on. I slept for 7 hours, ate breakfast this morning and am about to go eat lunch. We are going for an uncontested divorce and have been nothing but civil the last few days. In fact, we have talked more it seems than we ever have and are actually enjoying talking to each other. If I only had a time machine to go back. But hey, things happen for a reason. I am 34 and have a lot to learn that I may have missed while being married. We both need to discover things within ourselves. If anything, we'll both be better people because of all this. 4 months later. Well, we are still together. It has been about 4 months since I found out. Honestly, I can say that we are better friends, spouses, and even parents. I refuse to accept this, but it is like the affair hurt us but then helped us. As hard as that is to even think, it seems true. It has taught us both how to talk to each other, to share everything we feel no matter what, to appreciate the other more, and to not dismiss the other's feelings. That is a dangerous thing to do. Communication always was our problem. We have both learned a lot about life and about ourselves over these last 4 months. We absolutely know this. We love each other so very strongly and we want to be married to each other. A lot of things went into saving my marriage, but none were more important than the love. I have my days when thinking about the hurt and pain she caused me. She realizes what she did to me, and it does make it easier to deal with knowing that she knows and tries to understand. She knows when I am feeling down and I tell her everything I am feeling. Sometimes I feel like none of this is worth it when I think about how I felt when I found out. I think about how I should have gotten out when I had the opportunity. But those are just the bad days, which are getting farther and farther apart. When it's good, which is most of the time. But when it's bad, I tell her. She openly listens to me and reinforces the good times we have and how we are growing together for the better. Which I agree, only time makes things better. Mistakes happen and forgiveness is very possible. Though I never thought so. I believe we will survive this, as we are doing so right now. As long as we both believe in each other and never stop working to make this thing work. We're going to be okay. Half a year later, we are trying to work through it. Well, if you ask her, everything's hunky-dory and she'll never cheat again. We'll be together forever. Inside myself it isn't okay and I get tired of hearing all that BS from her. Something doesn't feel right. I keep thinking to myself that this love she has for me, what I thought was genuine before the just is not. It seems really dry and generic. Like if it wasn't me it would just be someone else and she could care less who as long as it was someone. I am not sure she knows how to love anyone for real, besides herself. And who knows, we were so young when we got married. I thought that was how love was supposed to be. I thought everything was perfect. Obviously, it wasn't because she strayed. But I sense no change in her. She seems to be the same person even before the affair. If anyone has changed, it is me. I try to meet her needs but I am getting tired of doing that. It feels like I am putting in work, and she just gets to have her cake and eat it too. And I get to walk around with the shame of having been cheated on. In the beginning these emotional roller coasters were almost hourly to daily. Then they went to weekly to every other week. But now, 13 months later, these past few weeks have been really tough. I second guess my decision to reconcile daily. I wonder if I am making the right decision. Is this normal? Anyone else have similar feelings? I just needed to get this off of my chest this morning. It feels good to just write things down sometimes. 2 years later, I tried to give it all I could. For me, for us, for the kids. I've never felt she was sorry for what she did, only for getting caught. Plus, little things that just add up. I've never really been told the whole truth, trickle truth. I know there's way more than what she has told me but will go to her grave without telling me. She's a stone-cold liar. I decided I was tired of it. I told her she had to go. I feel great, like 5 tons of stress has been lifted off my shoulders. She has been gone since last week of August. Half a year later. Present. Anyways, she sends me these texts all the time about her guilt and every time she admits what she did wrong and how we got to where we are. All this crap which are all the right answers. Answers I have been looking for since in May, 4 years ago. But when we try and mend things up, she immediately turns back to who she really is. An adulterous lashing out at me. Everything is my fault all over again. She knows the right things to do but she refuses to put in that work. She puts more work in protecting her adulterous relationships than she does protect her own family. Believe me, I know what needs to be done and that is what is happening. But this personality and her actions absolutely boggles my mind. I just cannot fathom knowing how she does what she does, much less do these things to people. I couldn't do the crap she does to a complete stranger, much less someone I am supposed to care about. What kind of person is this? My God, the last few days have driven me crazy. I really needed to rant and this felt really good to type out. I would really love to block her number, but that's impossible with 16 and almost 12-year-old daughters, who are really resilient, I might add. They see everything their mother does, and she thinks they don't know anything. It really boggles my mind as to what reality she lives in. I was doing really well for a while, but I took the bait after she was saying all the right things. But you guys are right. Doing the right thing and making a family out of us again isn't really what she wants. It's only what she wants me to hear her say. She doesn't know exactly what she's doing to me. She knows what she's done to our daughters. She does not care, only that she gets what she wants. I mean, I will be fine and there will be no more chit-chat. It just amazes me how much pain and hurt one person can cause to others. It's crazy to think that this is the way of life they have chosen. It seems so surreal to me to treat people that way. Welcome to the real world, huh? All I can do is be the best dad I can be and set the example. They sure can't rely on their mother for that. Unbelievable. Done and done. Divorce about to be final in next 30 to 60 days and all that good stuff. I am done with this chapter and there is no going back, only forward. Met a nice lady this weekend and I haven't given a second thought about the wayward spouse. A short story for today. Hope you guys like this one. Although OP fell for her once, he didn't make the same mistake twice. See you in the next story.